Here's a perfect Christmas time.
At Time Warner Cable, we connect you with more than what you love to watch. We connect you with the ones you love. And for a limited time, we're celebrating some of our greatest offers of the year.
666 6666. Remember 6.
Going to the airport.
Remember 6.
Riding around town.
Call Carmel.
Shopping on the way.
Remember 6.
The best ride in town.
So wherever you want to go,
Carmel is a number to know.
Ride Carmel and be on time.
worldwide and nationwide.
666 6666. Remember 6.
Well, the last 6 years have been one of the most competitive political eras since the 1940s. 20 Senate seats changing hands since 2006 and 2012 could be one of the most competitive years yet, with dozens more seats now in serious play. So how will this affect the next year on Capitol Hill? Joining us now, Josh Block, former spokesman for the Clinton-Gore and Gore-Lieberman presidential campaigns, and Ron Bonjean, former communications director to House Speaker Hassert. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure.
So let's start with what happened today. A last-minute, under-the-gun Saturday vote to extend a payroll tax cut for a mere 2 months. Why just 2 months? Because apparently, go figure, they couldn't agree on how to pay for the package to extend the tax cut through the next election. So, Josh, gridlock on Capitol Hill, it's now the norm. Last-minute temporary extensions to be expected. Who will pay the price, and are today's moves a sign of things to come?
Well, it's a good question. I think, voters are pretty upset with Congress. The only folks less popular than the president out there are members of Congress. The reason for that is the obstructionism, the unwillingness to compromise and get anything done. Perhaps today's decision was a sign of good things to come. Likewise, Paul Allen and Ron Wyden's discussion about Medicare. Maybe folks are figuring out, unless we get some compromise, unless we fix some of this gridlock, some of these incumbents are going to have a pretty tough ride on both sides of the aisle.
So, Ron, what do you think? Compromise to come?
Highly unlikely. The reason that they had to get the payroll tax cut done was because middle-class voters would have suffered over Christmas time. Thus, Congress as a whole would look bad, including the president. Everyone would just look terrible. They've kicked the can down the road for 2 months and will really negotiate the package then. But right now, it would have looked really bad it would have looked really bad to take away the middle-class tax cut from Americans.
So let's talk specifically about the Senate. According to this Cook political report that's out, of the 10 Senate seats up for grabs, 8 of them are held by Democrats. If the Senate is indeed at stake, Republicans, they need to gain 3 seats for a tie, a 4th for the majority. Ron, will they do it?
Yeah, I think, I'd rather be us than them right now. That's absolutely right. We put the Republicans have placed Democrats on defense in blue states like Michigan and New Mexico and even Hawaii. That's amazing. Even in purple states, we see good things to come. I'm from Wisconsin. That state has gone Democratic, but now you can see we've elected a Republican senator. And in 2012, there'll be the Republican nominee will face a very liberal nominee, Tammy Baldwin. So I think it's looking pretty good for us, although, these races are very, very close, which is going to be a huge gridlock for the next year or so.
And Josh, Democrats say that, amongst others, they think that they can pick up opportunities in Arizona, also Indiana.
Well, that just goes to show how tough the Republicans are going to have it. The Democrats are up 4 seats to begin with, and the fact that they could pick up 2, Massachusetts being 1, you're looking at a tough go round for Republicans. If Democrats can hold some of their seats and pick up a couple of these places where Republicans are weak, you're going to see the Democrats hold that Senate.
And so perhaps the only people in the country less popular right now than President Obama in terms of approval ratings, Congress. What can they do to turn that around as we wrap this up from both of you? Josh, I'll start with you.
Well, I thought Ron's point was pretty good. They weren't going to take away middle-class tax cuts on the way into Christmas. I think this is a problem for Democrats generally. We're giving Republicans the chance to make the point that somehow we're just out to give out handouts. In reality, not only is this the right thing to do, but it's going to help the economy. Voters are going to keep firing people unless, folks buckle down here in Washington and get responsible. So I'd like to see some compromise going forward.
Ron, final word from you.
Yeah, unless President Obama gets over 49%, Democrats are going to have a tough time in these key Senate races, especially in swing states like Ohio. because of the down ballot issue. But in next year, it's going to be about jobs and the economy. Republicans are going to be, they're going to be standing strong, pounding for for certainty for businesses to be able to hire more workers. And President Obama is going to be under a lot of pressure on issues like the Keystone Pipeline that would create thousands of jobs. Yet he hasn't been able to make a decision on it.
Yeah, 60 days to make that decision as of today. Thank you so much for joining us, Ron Bonjean and Josh Block. Thank you for your insight.
Thank you.
Well, the stress of the holidays isn't the only thing taking its toll on Americans. With the general election still just 10 months away, huge number of voters already wishing the election was over. What's behind all that voter fatigue? Find out next.